about in my driving videos the wind noise. It's a Jeep. That's what you have. I just wanted to mention how sad lipsticks are for the last year, because you can't really wear them under a mask unless they're a matte lip color, and then I don't know, it's just basically for you because nobody else really sees it. I mean, makeup is really kind of for you, whatever your aesthetic is, so that you can present yourself in a certain way to the world that makes you feel comfortable. But I put some on today, like a tinted lip balm, because in some ways it makes me sad. I've had a couple phases in my life where I got really into makeup and watched tons of tutorials, and I pretty much taught myself how to do my own makeup, and maybe it's not that good, but when I try, I think I do a pretty decent job. But really, because of masks, we're only doing concealer and eyeshadow and mascara, and it makes me curious if the sales for lipsticks on products have plummeted. I don't know these things. These are the thoughts in my head. If you're a makeup lover or lipstick lover, give me a thumbs up. I wanted to. The other thought in my head this morning was the meaning of liking or commenting or sharing or that kind of thing. Before I started really investigating doing YouTube and Instagram and that kind of stuff, as far as like for a business purpose or for a content creation standpoint, which now has become its own business, its own industry, career field in some ways. I would like videos here and there, or if the content resonated with me, I might leave a comment or something like that. But I guess I didn't realize the importance of that for the person who is creating the content, right? And this is a fun adventure to do, but there's more work involved than some people think as far as making a decent quality video and putting it out. It takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes some funds on the person who is creating the content's side. Similar to, business expenses, although they are much more minimal than what you would have if you're running a full-on business. Which eventually content creators can get to that point if they want to, where they are running a full-on business for whatever industry they're in. A lot of the planner people have sticker shops, or they're making inserts, or that kind of thing. They have brand affiliates, all of that, which is wonderful for people, because I think it is a better way to go about working for yourself rather than some of the MLM things that I talked about in a previous vlog. And can support a lifestyle if you want an alternative, which has now almost become normal since 2020 happened and people aren't always going in physical stores. But the importance of that means more eyes on your content, and it means more people that can find a resonance with that creator, and you guys can share in feedback analysis or commentary, or actually become friends. I know a lot of people have met digitally and become legit friends. The other importance is how many brands or products that you love and share naturally without being sponsored can look at you and say, oh yeah, they are sharing the message of our brand, they are putting our product out there, and they might give you a little bit of kickback for that, and that's called an affiliate link, right? You get a discount for using a link that I've presented to you or anybody else has presented to you that uses that product, that genuinely likes it and would recommend it for their audience. And if somebody is using a product and speaking about a product even before they're an affiliate for that product, I usually trust their opinion. Because they've tried it, they've used it, they've talked about it, and then they've worked with the brand and said, okay, let's give you a little bit of a kickback. So the more people that resonate with your content, then the more that those brands are likely to find you and maybe offer that to you and the people who follow you. So that's why it can get annoying, and I'm doing the same thing, but it's a prompt to say, if you like what I'm doing, like or comment or subscribe. For me, the interaction is the best thing. And that's what I want. I want to talk to you guys. I want to figure out what you like watching from me. Do you want Plan With Me? Do you like the vlogs? Do you resonate with lifestyle things? Do you want to know more about my fitness journey and my health journey or my mental health journey or whatever? That's why I ask, and that's why I annoy you. And I'm sorry if I annoy you. I don't necessarily want to be one of those people that is saying that all the time, but I also kind of want to be one of those people that is saying that all the time, because unless maybe you're prompted, you might not feel called to that. Although I want it to be genuine. I don't want it to be fake. I don't want it to be artificial and you just, scrolling through and liking. Even though it helps me, I want it to be truthful and genuine, because as a 4 Enneagram, that's what I like. I like genuine connection with people. The 5 in me knows the research says that the more you have that, the more people will actually just see anything that you're putting out. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, they all have this algorithm that people try to figure out all the time and put out videos on. This is what you should do now. The algorithm's changed. You might hear that in videos. I can't get in that deep. I can't get into all that. I might listen to one of those people that says, hey, this is the best way to use this app if you want to do X, Y, and Z, but I'm not gonna get in that deep. You building Peppa. Hat.
And scarf.
And scarf.
And gloves.
And gloves.
This is ridiculous.
In my car again. Welcome to my vlogs. I am waiting in a parking lot with my son. I had to take my dad to a medical thing, and I don't necessarily want to share too much about that because it's kind of his story to tell, but he's going through some things medically, and so I found it really important to make the time to be there for things for him. So my dad and I's relationship has been very complicated, but it's good now that I'm an adult and we're adults. So we're doing that, and I think that I'm gonna get a chance to run to Joann's, which is exciting. I had to come to Missouri. Oh, all done? Thank you. The medical stuff that is close by us where we live is in Missouri, which is a different state than Illinois, obviously, across the river. So not very far from me. But Joann's is not close to me on the Illinois side, but they do have one close to where we're at right now. So I think we're gonna go in there and check out the Happy Planner spring release stuff and like their planning aisle, because I don't ever really look in their planning aisle. I always go to Michael's or look online for things. So we're doing that, and then yeah, I'm watching videos that are very much so like a DIY-ish, like combining multiple planning systems together, which I feel like is me. I feel like I'm a rule follower to an extent. I guess you could say I'm kind of a rule breaker. If the rules make sense to me, I'm following them. If the rules don't make sense to me, if they're not logical, we're not following them. It's just kind of how I am. So I'm semi both. But with planners, I am so open to doing different things that I like having something that I can make my own, which is why I'm really enjoying Dis again. Because I can print out my own things, combine different layouts. I just love that. I love that about that. The size differences, you know, because I have my classic size Happy Planner. I'm curious to try a mini. I feel like that might be a little too small for me. I'm a writer. I need some real estate there. So I can't write super tiny, and I think the minis are so cute. And maybe just for like quick little inbox on the go things that might work for me, but as an overall system, I write too much. I have too many things that I need to put in there. But if you're not somebody who needs that kind of real estate, it would be perfect to just throw in any size bag and go and change it out, and you know what I mean? The thought of it is nice, and practicality for me may not be the deal. But I'm really liking, this will be up in a video, and if it's already out, I'm going to link it in the cards for you, but my Jane's Agenda that I unboxed on Instagram, and then I filmed a YouTube video of me setting this up. I ordered all of this from Jane's Agenda. It's a disc system. This is a half letter size, and I'm really liking it for on the go. So I've been taking this with me. I've just got notes pages, you'll see it in the video, and then my inserts. And I just really am digging this size. I also really like the classic Happy Planner size for the writing ability, but this is really like a in between the mini and the classic Happy Planner size, a half letter. And if you want to experiment with that, all you have to do, and all I did before I decided to purchase this stuff, was just take a regular white printer sheet of paper and fold it in half and use it like a booklet. And see if you like that, if that's got enough room for you, if it's too big for you, whatever, you know. And the other thing I usually take with me on the go right now is my Planner Perfect leather tan that has all my inserts with me. And this is my wallet, actually. I have to do a Planner Perfect video still to put on my YouTube, which I'm planning on it, of my setup with Planner Perfect. She does the scripting method, but I use it as my wallet. I have some personal things cover it up, but I use it. It's got card holders. It's got a zipper pouch for cash. It's got little things here, and other leather makers manufacture this kind of thing. And then I have the pin loop that's built into it, and I've got my Planner Envy cute little St. Patrick's Day clip because it's St. Patrick's Day week. But yeah, I take that with me on the go, and it has my calendar, my monthly calendar in it, and then my journal type pages that I write in. So I usually take that with me. And this leather, you guys, I really like Chic Sparrow. I had a Chic Sparrow size B6 before this last year that I carried for the end of 2019 and into 2020. And then I decided to go up a little bit bigger, and I found Planner Perfect, and decided to give her leather a try. So I don't still have the Chic Sparrow. I sold that. I usually like to pass it on to a different person in some way or form if it's not serving me. So this is the one that I usually carry with me, and this kind of leather is called Cocoa, the color, and it's this like light brown. It's got almost like a suede feel. I love it. I love it. But it is rather large. So if you're not carrying a large bag or backpack, you could also just bring this, and then I usually have my keys on one of these kind of guys for the bracelet. I need to get a different one because this is from Christmas. And that makes it easy on the go too with the kids. I just grab both of these things and hop in the car. So that's cool. But anyway, long story short, ramble. I think I'm going to get to go to Joann's and check out their section of stuff. I've created a wish list in here because when you get into like a hobby, you want to buy all the things, right? You want to go crazy a little bit when you're into it. And gotta watch that because I've found that I want to try a lot of things because I want to review them for you guys, and maybe it's not necessarily something that I want to keep for me, but maybe it'll benefit you guys in some way. And right now I'm not affiliated, really. I'm not sponsored, I'm not monetized, not any of that. So everything that I'm doing is with my own personal money, and I don't mind spending it to help other people out and to test some cool things and get my hands on it and tell you what I think and that kind of thing, because maybe it'll help you out. But I do have to watch it a little bit because it is my money, you know, and I'm an adult and have things to take care of, like this Jeep and my children and my house and all of that. So created a wish list, and then I can really assess, is it something that I want to invest the money on for this purpose, and then send it on to a different person that it'll benefit, and have the video up for you guys so that you can check it out and see if it benefits you or what have you. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was what I put on my Instagram today, and if you're not following there, please do. I have two actually. The one associated with this channel is This Jen Plans, and I do the planner stuff, but I also have my original personal lifestyle health journey page, which is This Jen's Life, and that came first. And you can check that out too, because the vlogs are kind of connected with that, and I haven't figured out how to make them all together. We're working on it. But on my journaling page that I shared on both, something in my photo feed came up, and this was the last week was the last week before everything started getting locked down and shut down with COVID-19, and the world changed globally in so many different ways. And some things are same, but for most people in the world, things are different, right? And in some ways things were taken away from us, and in some ways we were given other things, you know. Some people lost their jobs, some people lost their lives, their relatives, their friends. Some people lost income, freedom, a lot of things. And maybe because you lost income, you lost other things in your life, and those things are all really sad. And in some ways, in other ways, the people that were essential workers were overwhelmed, and we're still dealing with that. And it's just a whole lot of stuff. And I'm a kind of a deep thinker, so I can't let myself get too far in my thoughts about that. But for me personally, because this is my personal thing, a lot of things changed for me, and it started mentally and then physically. And it was the whole spur to this sharing process. And it was in April of last year that I decided to do the health journey thing again. And I chose keto, and I've successfully almost done that for a year. I've had 4 off-plan meals. And I may not stay keto forever, and I'm open to that, you know. I'm getting close to where I would like to be in order to change it up, maybe try something else, go back. I don't know. We'll see. I am not a super regimented person, so I'm always open to doing different things. But in doing that for myself, and in changing a lot of things that I was doing in my capacity for my mental health, has changed so many aspects of my life, you know, for the better. Even though things are hard. And I think that's just a metaphor for life, right? There are so many hard things that you go through as a person at different phases in your life, at different times in your life, and you just have to find the best ways for you to go through them. And normalizing the fact that you may not be okay. And I think that we're starting to do that a lot more. I think that that's something else that happened over the last year, is that people are really, really starting to openly discuss the fact that you may not be okay. And we have to talk about that, because for so long people didn't want to talk about that. And some people still think it stigmatizes you in some way. But I'm here to tell you it doesn't. And if you need help, please ask for it. And even if you don't want to say, I need help, if you just want to post a comment or something on someone's page or write it out. For me, I get things out that way first. It's how it helps my brain. It helps everything, you know. And I was once in a place mentally where I've been in a place a couple of times mentally where I wasn't okay. But before 2020, after this guy came along, and I'm not blaming him, but just life in general after I had children really, really, really sent me down a slope. And maybe I'll make a video getting into all of that and my journey out of that. But it sent me to a really, really bad place mentally, you know, a place where the thought of not being here was something that entered my head. And I don't necessarily share that with everybody, but I feel like I should, because it's okay. It doesn't make me, I'm gonna get emotional. It's okay to be emotional. I just want to get this out. It's okay if you get to that place. It's okay. There are more people that have gotten to that place than you would ever realize, because they may not have talked about it. Because it's a hard thing to talk about. And I'm doing it because if you are there, it's okay. It's okay. Even though it doesn't feel okay, you feel all kinds of things. And you don't want to tell people, because maybe you're supposed to be the strong one, right? Maybe you're supposed to be the person that doesn't happen to. You have responsibilities that you need to take care of, and you can't be this way. I will tell you something. The majority, it's okay. The majority of people that I have met in my life that are the strongest people that I know, in deep conversation with them, you will realize that they have been there. And they have gone through the things that people don't like to talk about. And that's why they're some of the strongest people that I know, because they were vulnerable and they were weak at some point. And that makes them beautiful. To be weak is to be human. To be strong is to be human. To go through trials is to be human. And we need to normalize it. We need to talk about it. And we need to say that it's okay not to be okay. As moms, as women, as people, it's okay. You know, if for me as a mother, I felt like if I wasn't giving 24/7, and if my family wasn't my whole world, that in some way made me wrong. But motherhood doesn't look the same to everybody. Doesn't feel the same to everybody. And it's okay. Whatever is for you, as long as your kids are healthy and happy and good people in this world, that's all that matters, right? Or that you're at least trying to raise them that way, in my opinion. So these are all my opinions. Disclaimer. That's why I'm sharing. Don't come at me. It's okay. We can have differing opinions, and I'm open to that as long as we stay respectful. Communication is key. So if you guys want a video, if you want to learn more about my struggles or journey as a woman or a mother or a person in this world, aside from the vlogs that we do, you know, a more serious conversation, I can do that. Just let me know. Because if it will help other people, I'm totally willing to do it. The hair done. Not sure what I'm gonna do. I never fully know what I'm gonna do when I go and get my hair done. I'm pretty open and I experiment quite a bit. There are only a couple of things that I haven't gone for or tried. So I usually have a discussion with the person doing my hair and we just kind of play around and you can always change it, right? I mean, it's just hair. To me, it's not that serious. I guess maybe because when I was younger, my mother went through cancer treatments and lost all of her hair. And so when I was young, we kind of joked about that hair wasn't that big of a deal. And also, I think because I've lost my hair periodically in conjunction with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid condition, I had alopecia issues throughout my 20s and into my 30s. And so it got so bad at one point in time that really my only option that I had left, because I had so many, it's alopecia areata, so I get like $half size spots, mostly around the crown of my head. It left me with very little option at that point in time. I had so many areas that I couldn't repart or change or cut that much because every time I would shift or part my hair, there would be another large spot exposed. So I cut all my hair off into a pixie cut, and I don't think that was my best look, but it's what I did, and it's one of the only options that I had at the time, unless I wanted to just shave the rest and do wigs, which I did think about. And if the pixie cut wasn't enough to cover it up, that's what I was gonna do. Because what choice do you have at that point? You can't control the amount of hair loss that you have, you know, because it's falling out of the follicle, so you can't. And they offered me steroids injections, but to me it's not that serious. And I know some people are very attached to their hair, and I get that. I'm not discounting the way that you feel. I'm just saying, for me, I guess that's the reason why. So I've been all kinds of colors. I do think that I look better with some red undertones with warmth in there. I also have really green eyes, so the red is a really nice contrast. Like copper reds or deep reds, I think, tend to bring out my eye color more. I also can never exactly figure out my face shape. I know, and I've measured it, that my cheekbones are the widest part of my face, but my forehead isn't as narrow as necessarily a diamond. But I also have a longer face than it is wide. So, you know, the rectangle shape is what I feel. I don't know. If you guys are hair professionals or you know better face shapes, comment below. This is what we did. We got the fringe a little bit heavier, cut some length off of the bottom. I mean, I'm just saying. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you celebrate. If you're Irish, or even if you just like it. I just like it. And we do corned beef and cabbage without the soda bread. I miss soda bread a little bit. I'm editing. It's my little bit of my setup. It's a mess behind me. I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I watched yesterday. So I got really into makeup for a period of time, and I watched a lot of like beauty gurus, you know, YouTubers, and learned a lot from that experience, even though sans makeup now with the kids a lot. I don't watch that much anymore, but I've kind of stayed up with what she's doing, and that is Raw Beauty Kristi, and I will link her in the box below. And she struggled with infertility. She was very open about that on her channel. They came to terms with the fact that they were probably not going to have children. She made peace with it. She started doing collabs, all that stuff, and then she got pregnant. And she is 3.5 months now, postpartum with that child. And she put out a conversational vlog style video on her channel that I watched yesterday. It popped up in my feed. And I just want to, there were so many moments in that video that I was doing like this and doing like this and saying out loud, yes, yes. And that's part of the reason that I am doing these vlog style videos and talking as well, because she was speaking about how motherhood was not what she thought it would be. Not because she didn't hear about things in motherhood that were trying, but because while she was pregnant, especially this first experience of this long-awaited child, she didn't want to hear the bad stuff, right? Because you don't want that to cloud your mind in preparation of what it's going to be like. But the fact that what she's in right now is what some of those people were maybe trying to tell her, but she just didn't want to hear. She felt like she needed to speak about it, that it wasn't what she thought in her head. It wasn't what the movies portray. It wasn't what, you know, maybe other people that make vlogs that are mothers say. It wasn't what you see as the reel on Instagram with all the good stuff. And it is full of good stuff, but that it is truly one of the hardest things in the world for her. And I and many other women feel the same way. And if you are a woman that feels that way, I hear you, and she hears you now. And if you're one of those mothers who this experience has completed you as a person and it's everything to you, and you've never experienced any of the negative sides of parenting, then girl, congrats. But if you're like me, and if you're like her, and if you're like a lot of other women that maybe don't talk about it as often, just know that this experience for me has been one of the most trying experiences of my life. Is it rewarding? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't want to take the good away from it, but I also don't want to leave out the difficulty, you know. Both of my children are completely different. And I also struggled with having miscarriages. Here comes one right now. What you want?
Rainbow horse.
Okay. This is another thing she talks about in the vlog, is that you don't have time no more. Time is different. It's different. And you have to do the things that you want to do. If you have help, with help, just like me, I struggle to ask for help. I'm getting better about it. And as they're getting older, it's a little bit easier in some ways. But there's always new challenges and experiences. And you think back to your childhood experience and you don't realize the things that your mother might have been going through. And now maybe you do. Especially given the kind of child you were, or if you had siblings they were, or whatever. But she's going through a lot of what I went through with my first child, which is no sleep, team no sleep. And the emotional things that come with not only sleep deprivation, but caring for another person. And for me, it also came with struggles with breastfeeding and struggles with her GI system and reflux and colic and yada, yada, yada. And I always think back to the moment where when she was born, and both of my labors were an interesting experience, and we can talk about that, I'm sure. But when they put her on my chest, you know, you always see in the movies and the shows, the baby just lays there and it's this beautiful moment. And it was this beautiful moment. But when they placed her there on my chest, she was squirming, screaming, and I was just thinking, like, what in the world? What is this? What? This is not what I saw. And the newborn infant experience with my first was extremely trying and hard. And not only does that take a toll on you as a person in all facets, emotionally, physically, mentally, it takes a toll on if you're in a partnership, because there's no way that can't affect that, right? Because it's affecting you, but it's also affecting them, and then you're taking it out on them, and they're taking it out on you, and this person is involved. It's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing. So I commend her for doing that, because she has millions of people following her. A baby Bado, yeah. She has millions of people following her. And I don't right now, and that's fine. But for her to speak to that large of an audience about this important subject, I highly, highly commend her for that. Because it's not an easy thing in society necessarily to talk about. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. BRB. Back with my heated up coffee for the, I don't even know what time. Anyway, I just wanted to commend her for what she did, and I feel like the more that women can have these frank conversations and talk to each other honestly about it, the better our mental state can be. Because you think to yourself, nobody else is going through this in the moment. You don't see this talked about. Nobody else talks about that. And then once you're open and honest about it, you will find there are other women that feel that way. And that feeling of loneliness and isolation makes it worse. And yeah. So that's one of my goals, you know, in sharing my life, is just to let you know other people feel the way you do.
Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken macaroni, chicken with a homie.
Friday the 19th. What time is it? 3:30. There's one of the kids. This is real life. I tried to work out. I got interrupted probably about 8 times, and the last time didn't get resumed because my son is potty training and he spent over 30 minutes and didn't want to get off the potty. I don't know why, but that's where we were. Now I'm sitting back at my desk and trying to refocus because my mental state got shifted through all the trying to get things done. Just all the things going on. So, I'm going to show you my desk. Look at it. This is real life here. Look, 1, 2, 3, all these supplies. 4, and then I got my old notebook here that I was kind of looking through. And then all these. So, behind the nice pictures that you might see on social media, behind maybe some videos, although my Jane's Agenda video just went up and I went to view it, and I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but it looked like the aspect ratio was off and the video looks smaller than it's supposed to be. And I don't know why, because I really wanted to make a nice video of me setting up this planner to show you guys, because I've been carrying it with me along with my TN over here. And I'm really enjoying her inserts. I'm doodling. I'm not really that artistic, but you know, that's what it is. Oh, we're going to cut that out. Personal. yeah, so that's a bummer. And I'm not sure if I can go back and correct that or not because it was already processed through the editing software that I have. So, bummer. But that's okay. I'm sure we can talk about this more in the future in another video, plus my behind the scenes videos. And then I definitely still have to do a Planner Perfect video. I just haven't done that yet. And I'm trying to play around with the bullet journal thing. I've still got my Go Getter Girl and my Power Sheets, Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets. And then I've got this guy coming up for you in a review. I left the cover plain because it's customizable, but this is coming up. I don't want to show too much of it, but we got this guy coming up in a review video. So I'm excited about that. It's a very small company, really cool owner. I've spoken with them several times, not sponsored, bought this with my own money to review for you guys because I think I like supporting small companies. I mean, I like reviewing the big companies too, especially if their mission statement is, you know, along the lines of something that I want to support. But yeah, I like small guys too because a lot of times they don't get a lot of word of mouth, and I'm still a small content creator, and so yeah, I want to help support other people that do that. So still in thought process about all of these, and I think I'm narrowing down my flavors because I've in previous years I've already tried other things, and I've even just carried like a blank calendar and filled it in and carried that in like a notebook before. You can maybe you make it super basic. You know what I mean? You don't have to. None of this is necessary, right? None of this is. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the consumerism here on this desk and over in my little thing over there, quite large. And so that's the kids' little craft thing. But we don't need any of this. And maybe maybe I'll eventually do a video on basics and what you can do with just something basic, right? And that's what the bullet journal was designed to do, but you don't even need that. I mean, you can print off a calendar and use blank sheets folded in half, or just use one of these like dollar guys, you know? So, but it's a hobby, you know? But to make it functional is important, and to help with this is important. So, those are my thoughts for the day.